Alrighty. Graphing when you have an equation in vertex form. So here's vertex form. A is just a number, H is just a number, K is just a number. Now when we look at an actual function in vertex form, notice here's A. It's not written, but A is 1. We're not going to do anything with A in what you're doing today. So in all of the exercises, there's not going to be a number written for A. H is -3, K is 5. Right. When we have a function in vertex form, we really like it because it automatically gives us the vertex of the parabola that we're going to graph or work with. For example, from this I know that the vertex of this graph is going to be the point 3, 5. You just get these two numbers right here and you write them down. Some of you want to know why though. Why is this -3 here, but I wrote down +3? The why is because in order to solve for the x in the vertex, you take this part of the equation and you set it equal to 0. And you solve for x. So the first thing that we need to do is get rid of the square here by taking a square root of both sides. The only thing that the square root does for this is take off the square. So now we have x minus 3, and the square root of 0 is still 0. Add 3, x equals +3. So if you can wrap your head around, take this number right here and change the sign and write it down as the x value in your vertex. Take this number being added out here. This one is not going to change signs. It's going to be exactly the way that it is. If it's a positive number, write it as positive. If it's minus that number, then you write it as a negative. That's how we ended up with the vertex 3, 5. Change the sign, write that number there. Don't change the sign, write that number there. Now we have a vertex. So I'm going to go to my graph now, and I'm going to plot that vertex. Vertex is 3, 5. So I go over 3 and up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. 3, 5. Okay. But I need 2 more points because this is a parabola and I need 3 points for a parabola. I need a point that's going to be to the left of the vertex and I need a point that's going to be to the right of the vertex. If I get 2 points to the left of the vertex, I'm not going to be able to complete the U shape. If I get 2 points to the right of the vertex, I still won't be able to complete the U shape. I need 1 point to the left, 1 point to the right. The easiest way to get those 2 points is to go back to your vertex. It was 3, 5. And I'm going to take the x value and I'm going to do 2 things to it. I'm just going to pick a number to add to 3, and then I'll use that same number and subtract it from 3. Why is that? Well, the x is what moves us left and right. By subtracting from the 3, I get a point to the left. By adding to the 3, I get a point to the right. So we'll use this x, and I'm going to pick the number, I pick 4. You can use any number. I'm just going to pick the number 4. Alright, so I'm going to add 4 to 3, and I'm going to subtract 4 from 3. 3 plus 4 is 7. 3 take away 4 is -1. Those become my new x values. I will end up with 2 points. The x value for one of those points is -1. The x value for the other point is +7. But now I need to calculate the y's. The y's will not be 5. I need to take these two numbers, plug them in here one at a time, and solve it to get my y values. So I'll go ahead and set my points up here. The x in the first one is going to be -1. The x in the second one is going to be 7. You always write the smallest one first. And now here we go. Here's the function. I need -1 right there for the first one. So, I hope you can see this on the video. I can't see it on the screen here at the school, but it looks like it's been recording all right. So use the parentheses, -1 minus 3, close the parentheses, square, plus 5, enter. So the value for my first one is 21. Now I do it again using the other x value. So 7 minus 3 squared plus 5. Aha! I got the same number again. And you likely will if you use the same value to add and subtract with. 21. So now I can go plot these points. Well, you know what I did. I ran out of room on my graph because I picked numbers too far away, but let's see. -1, 21 is way up there. -1, 21, and 7. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 21 is way up there. And I can connect all three of these with the U shape. And that's it. That's why we love the vertex form. Let's see some variations of this. How about if that were a plus instead of a minus? So let me just make something up here. F of x equals x plus 2 squared and minus 5. All right, here we go. My vertex, the opposite of this, so -2, and then this turns into -5. There was a minus sign with it, which makes it a negative here. So there's my vertex. I can go plot it. -2, -2, -5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's my vertex. -2, -5. Now I need a point to the left, a point to the right. Take -2. And I'm going to add, just add 2. And then I'm going to take -2 and I'm going to subtract 2. So I'm moving 2 to the right, 2 to the left. I just need to see how far up I'm going to go with those. All right, -2 plus 2 equals 0. -2 minus 2 equals -4. There's my two new x values. So in my function now, I'm going to do 0 plus 2 squared minus 5 equals, and then -4 plus 2 squared minus 5 equals. That number goes there, that number goes there. The rest of this came from right here. This is going to give us our y values. So 0 plus 2 is 2. 2 squared is 4. 4 minus 5 is negative 1. Negative 4 plus 2 is negative 2. Negative 2 squared is 4. And 4 minus 5 is negative 1. So here's my two new points. 0, negative 1. Negative 4, negative 1. And I can go plot those now. 0, negative 1, right here. And then negative 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 1 is right here. And then connect those with a U shape. There we go. All right, one more example. F of x equals x plus 1 squared. That's all I have. Just this part right here. And you'll notice there's nothing being added or subtracted out here. Well, if there's nothing being added or subtracted out here, that's the same as adding or subtracting 0. Aha! So my vertex is, here's my x, negative 1. My y, well, I'm adding 0 out here, so 0. Yeah, that's really it. Now my two new x's. I get them by taking negative 1, and I'm going to add 2, and I'm going to subtract 2. 1 to the right, 1 to the left. Negative 1 plus 2 is positive 1. Negative 1 minus 2 is negative 3. Plug those into my function. Y equals 1 plus 1 squared. And y equals negative 3 plus 1 squared. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 squared is 4. Negative 3 plus 1 is negative 2. And negative 2 squared is 4. So my points are 1, 4, negative 3, 4. And here we go. All right. Vertex, negative 1, 0. Negative 1, 0. Point 1, 4. Go over 1, up 4. You always start at the origin. Over 1, up 4. One, 4. And then my last point, negative 3, 4. Negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's it. You can do this. I know you can. I made up all the functions myself. All your parabolas will be pointing upwards. None of them will be facing downward. So try it. Watch this a couple times if you need to. Call me if you need to. I have a few who have called me. That's fine. I will help you over the phone. If you need to make an appointment, come see me here at the school. Call the school or call me, and we can get together here at the school. Thanks. Bye.